Ram has officially hit rock bottom, with them dropping the Hemi V8 for its half-ton 1500 to various quality control issues and terrible reliability record, as well as artificially inflated prices. Less and less people are buying Ram trucks. It's evident that the formation of Stellantis has been a catastrophic occurrence for all the brands under it, especially Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram. Today, we'll be addressing the problems that led to the terrible state of the company, as well as finding the root of it all, as we look at what on earth is going on at Ram. Quality, a legacy ruined. Let's be honest here, you don't buy a Ram truck because you need a work truck and nothing else. You buy a Ram truck because you want a work truck that you can ride around in absolute comfort and opulence. Well, guess what? You ain't getting that with the new Ram trucks. Now, yes, on paper you do, as the truck, in its higher echelons, does come with nice-looking interior, leather seats, and luxurious features. However, in reality, things aren't as black and white. For starters, the quality control of the interior is terrible. Once you start touching the interior panels, you'll see that they squeak and rattle a lot, and the fitment and finish of said panels is simply non-existent. Some trucks come well built, and some can literally be taken apart piece by piece because of how poorly everything has been fitted. In addition to that, the leather seats, especially on the pre-facelift Ram 1500 and the Ram Heavy Duty, are well known for their premature wear, as they scratch, crease, and get ruined pretty quickly. The Uconnect system also has its fair share of issues, and the infotainment screen is known for malfunctioning, lagging, and not working altogether, which is unacceptable for a truck of this caliber. And these issues go beyond skin deep, as even the engines and the drivetrain are known for having all kinds of QC and reliability issues. The Hemi engine is known for a fair bit of gremlins, and the e-torque system can oftentimes stall the truck, even while already driving at cruising speeds, making Ram's trucks an actual hazard on the road. Furthermore, the truck also has all kinds of electrical issues in general, from the rear parking camera malfunctioning to relays and sensors not working, all the way to things like the alternator failing soon after the truck leaves the lot. Heck, everything you need to know about Ram's quality is that they recalled 1.3 million units that were produced from 2019 to 2024 because of a faulty ABS sensor. We're completely appalled by Ram's etiquette, as the company we knew for the past decade, which was revered as the creme de la creme of all pickup truck brands, would never allow mishaps like these. But these are only surface-level issues, which can be fixed with just a bit more thought and care. There are other, more pressing and more fundamental issues that need discussing. Capability. Mediocre at best. Rams of old were truly the powerhouses of American trucks. They were the best of the best when it came down to towing, pulling, hauling, and driving around in comfort, all while retaining that true American soul. Well, guess what? Stellantis has decided to completely tarnish the said capability of their truck brand, and modern Rams are nothing more than just a glorified symbol of unnecessary opulence. They've turned into pavement princesses. First of all, even the pre-facelift version of the Ram 1500 was nothing to write home about, as it was by far the least potent truck in terms of towing and hauling amongst the big three, despite being fitted with the most potent engine of them all. This is because Ram decided to use coil springs at the rear, which, albeit improving ride comfort, resulted in the truck being far less capable and far less susceptible to actual trucking and towing. However, it could still hold its own compared to its rivals. Unfortunately, though, due to Stellantis' constant push for downsizing everything and anything, this is no longer true, as Ram traded all of its prowess and tradition for a trend that no sane person indulges or likes. In fact, this brings us to an even deeper problem of the brand: tradition, dead and buried. You see, Ram was built upon tradition. All Ram, and in addition all Dodge trucks and vehicles, were probably most well known for one thing only, and that is Hemi. Hemi's engines have always been the cornerstone of this brand, as these engines were the driving force and beating heart of all its trucks. The old 5.7-liter, the 6.4-liter, all these engines, even with their small gremlins and issues, were still truly workhorse power plants. Well, you can say goodbye to this tradition, as Ram, as you might know, decided to ditch the thing that made them famous. Instead of a naturally aspirated 8-cylinder lump under the hood of a ginormous truck, you can now see an overstrained and unproven 3.0-liter 6-cylinder with 2 turbines. This engine is also what replaced a 6.4, 5.7, and the Hellcat and Demon engines in the Dodge Charger and Challenger. And as you might expect, the reaction to this radical change has been exclusively negative on all sides. In addition to that, Ram also had the audacity to keep the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, which is colloquially regarded as being too weak and too old of an engine for this truck. All of these changes have resulted in Ram plummeting drastically in terms of sales, as buyers, unsurprisingly, prefer a pickup truck that is simple, easy to maintain, and capable, and not some fashion statement truck that will be driven by Keith Urban-type metrosexual cowboy cosplayers. But all of these reasons can't even hold a candle to the biggest problem that keeps dragging Ram's sales: pricing. Too high for any reasoning. Sure, we know Ram has always been a tad more expensive than its counterparts. After all, the company was always regarded as the Rolls-Royce of pickup trucks. But this was because, apart from being the most comfortable and most luxurious trucks in their segment, they were also the most capable ones too. Heck, you don't even need to go far into the history of the brand to understand the root of the issue. Just look at the Ram 1500 TRX, which was recently discontinued. This was, and still is, the most off-road capable, the most powerful, and probably the most desirable truck ever built, as it combined everything into a neat and untouchable package. But now, Ram expects you to pay a $50,000 plus MSRP for a 3.6-liter V6-powered crew cab truck in its most basic trim. And that's without dealer markups. And for what? You don't get anything that Ram is known for at that price point. And even if you start climbing the ladder, and even if you go for the biggest trim levels available, you simply won't be able to shake the feeling that Ram is trying to sell you a truck for such an extreme price only because of their old glory. Be honest here. Would you pay $100,000 on a 6-cylinder full-size pickup truck that's not very capable, has reliability issues, and is a noticeable step down from its vastly cheaper predecessor? Yeah, neither would we. Especially since both Ford and Chevy had the decency to both offer us what an honest, God-loving American wants at a drastically lower price. Now, all of this is terrible. Ram's approach towards their buyers and fans, as well as their treatment of them, is extremely shameful and should be condemned by every God-loving pickup truck fan. And in fact, this exact treatment is what brings us to the absolute core of this issue, the root of all problems: Stellantis. It isn't Ram who is treating us like roadside garbage. No, it's their parent company, Stellantis. It's Carlos Tavares and his extremely ruthless and completely illogical idea of leading the corporation. You see, all the faults Ram is experiencing at the moment aren't exclusive to Ram. They're shared between all of Stellantis' subsidiaries, every single brand. And the reason behind this is the fact that the head of this company has a twisted idea of creating a chain of brands that share engines, platforms, parts, and peripherals to increase the production output as much as possible with as little effort as possible. And sure, we know, Chrysler employed this tactic under Lee Iacocca back in the 1980s and 1990s. But this isn't the end of the 20th century anymore. Plus, Iacocca and Chrysler at least followed and set trends back then, and they listened to their audience. And now, it's like Stellantis deliberately tries to give us the exact opposite of what we asked. Just look at the Ram Charger. Who even asked for that? Who ever went ahead and said, yeah, I want an EV with a 3.6-liter range extender engine? No one. That's who. Why not offer us just a regular PHEV or a regular EV and not complicate it without unnecessary and completely useless and convoluted technical solutions? Oh, that's right. Complicity means trucks breaking down, and complicated trucks breaking down means that repairing them will bring in tons of cash to Stellantis. Oh, the truth is, RAM is currently in a deep problem, and what we've talked about today is just scratching the itch, just the tip of the iceberg that is Stellantis' management of their companies. And sure, people will keep buying RAM trucks, as even now, they still have some appeal. However, it's only a matter of time before Stellantis instructs RAM to strip their offerings off all their defining characteristics, just like they did with Chrysler and Alfa Romeo, and just like they're now doing to Jeep and Dodge.